Top 10 non-QB MVP, which honestly Cooper Kupp at number 1 makes a lot of sense in general. Has been the Triple Crown in receiving yards, receptions, and touchdowns for receivers. Honestly, one of the greatest receiving seasons in a while, and almost passed Calvin Johnson's record. Of course, he's going to be number 1, and it's probably one of the highest non-QBs and non-QBs in general on the list. Arnold at number 2, which honestly had 12.5 sacks, honestly a consistent amount. He's had around 10 or more every year pretty much. But I would honestly put at number 2 instead of him TJ Watt, just because he tied Michael Strahan's record for the most sacks in a single season. I just think he had the better season. Number 2, I would put TJ Watt. 3 is TJ Watt, which honestly is probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year after getting Michael Strahan's record and tying it. Honestly, he had a great season. It was one of the only bright spots for the Steelers in general. It was really carrying the defense, and I feel like that's why they won most of their games. Number 4 is Debo Salmon, which honestly had a great season. He's the wide receiver and the running back for the 49ers, and him and Mitchell are really carrying the running game in general. And their season ended last week, but honestly, they had a great season in general. And hopefully next season will get better. Trey Lance will probably be the starting quarterback, so that could be another bright spot. He might get even more receiving yards, but I'd still see them using him as a running back as well. 5 is Micah Parsons. Honestly, a great season, and honestly, a great rookie season from him. He's probably going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year this season, and was one of the most positive things that happened to Cowboys in a while. 6 is Justin Jefferson. Honestly, another great season coming from him, and probably a top 5 receiver this year, in my opinion. And he's probably the best thing on the Vikings offense, him and Dalvin Cook. So, honestly, he deserves to be non-QB MVP candidate. 7, Devante Adams, my opinion, one of the best receivers in football, probably the best, and honestly, another great season. Who knows what's going to happen next season? He might leave the Packers in general, so his future is kind of undecided and up in the air. 8, Jamar Chase. Honestly, they honestly had a great offense this season. Adding Jamar Chase was a good move instead of Penei Sewell and T. Higgins with Joe Burrow, honestly, and Joe Mixon. Honestly, the Bengals' offense has been great, and they're going to play in the Super Bowl next week, so they're probably going to have a really high-tempoed offense at the Super Bowl. 9 is Jonathan Taylor, which after Derrick Henry got injured, he was probably the top running back in the NFL this year. I think he had 4 or 5 touchdowns in a single game, so that was probably his best game this season. And honestly, should be more considered as one of the top MVP candidates with QBs as well. Jordan Poyer is number 10, which I don't really think so. I think Nick Bosa should probably be on here. I think he had 15 sacks and honestly was one of the top defensive players of the year. I'd put Nick Bosa on here instead.